Hey everyone, Big Mike here,
And Wilburnator,
bringing you guys and gals a review for...
The Last Jedi.
Yep, if you're gonna be telling us that we're late, we're always late. Get used to it. We don't want to, but time constraints. That's pretty much how it is. So, we watched The Last Jedi last Sunday. Again, there are a lot of stuff that we probably need to talk about, but not really that much. I'm sure a lot of you have already watched a lot of reviews for it, and the one thing that we can probably say is that it's good.
Okay, so we're going to actually look into view as non-crazy Star Wars fans.
Yeah,
So we are the part where the critics, but we understood why it is jarring.
yeah. As some people would say, which I would agree, and more likely Sean would agree as well, is that it it's a movie that's supposed to be solid, but sadly they weren't able to glue everything enough for it to be a very good movie. There are some stuff there that is confusing. There are some parts of the movie, or pretty much a whole segment of the movie, where it didn't need to be there. It was just used for character development, which is fine because there are some characters here that were there that are new that needed to be, what's the word I'm looking for?
Address?
No, not addressed, but uh, more of fleshed out. Yeah, there you go.
Flash up.
That has to be fleshed out because they were just introduced in the second iteration of this sequel of the Star Wars multiverse.
It's already a multiverse
I know.
from the beginning.
So let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the first part of the movie, which I wasn't able to watch because I had to go to the little boys' room. But again, Sean was able to check it out. So let's start off with that.
Okay, so the first part is they actually have to attack the First Order. So they actually launch a lot of ships. So Poe and his bombers were supposed to bomb a Executor style Star Destroyer. I don't think they're called Star Destroyers anymore.
Oh no, they're still called Star Destroyers.
Okay, this is
I did hear them talk about Star Destroyers for a multitude of the movie. So
okay. So what they actually did is they dropped the bombs, but because of Poe's reckless attitude, everyone dies. So basically, this is more of trying to go with the Empire Strikes Back, where everyone dies depressingly. And the first part is they're trying to sink it in that, yes, this is the depressing part. This is our Empire Strikes Back. But it ain't Empire Strikes Back. It's like trying to go in reverse,
yes,
which I will explain later.
yes, that's true. That's true. After the whole debacle with Poe's suicide mission, he got demoted by
From commander to captain.
yeah, from commander to captain by Princess Leia,
No,
who
not, oh yes.
Commander General Leia, uh, and pretty much they're now being hunted down by the First Order, literally hunted down because the entire resistance group, literally just from a huge band of people who were trying to resist the First Order, shrunk into just a small group of people just trying to survive pretty much this relentless assault by the First Order. Now, the one thing that really surprised me, which, again, as much as I like Star Wars, for what I like about it, I'm not a big fan. This guy is.
Not a fan that much.
But you're a bigger fan than I am because you know the whole thing about the other parts of this, the multiverse, like the comic books, the books.
Okay, but I can tell you that I am not crazy.
I know. You're not Star Wars crazy. I know that. But the point is, in terms of me, you respecting this franchise, you got a hold of the keys, and me and mine, I just like lightsabers. Yeah, go ahead, guys. Put the comment section. Put the hate on the comment section below. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I still like the movie for much of what it is. I like the first Hope first because it was a lot more fun, but this one,
Force Awakens.
yeah, Force Awakens, even Rogue One was better than this.
That's the sad part. Why a somewhat interesting Star Wars movie, we realized it was much more better.
Yeah. It's like, again, there's really they could have made this movie a lot better, not following what the fans are speculating, definitely, because a lot of the fan theories out there made sense, absolutely, but all you guys who haven't watched it, every speculation you have, everything that you probably thought this movie could be, throw it out a window, flush it down the toilet. It will never happen for this movie, depending on what they'll do on the third one. But for this movie, forget about it. Everything about Rey turning gray, wow, that rhyme. Forget about it.
Even though that the resolution was kind of nice, but the problem is it actually lacked something that made it meaningful. Was supposed to be the title. That was the last one.
Oh yeah, guys, if you're thinking that this will be a review, sorry, this is a spoilers review because again, we're not like any guy out there that does reviews or things like that. We do reviews, but at the same time, we do spoilers for one reason: hindrances. We don't like to be hindered, and at the same time, we just want to get our opinions out. Because it is an opinion channel, folks. Opinions. So, going back to the topic about Leia, um, that I was shocked, and I was saying, she has the Force.
And
Well, again, it made sense because she's a Skywalker, but at the same time, that caught me off guard. Because how in the hell does she have the Force? I never saw that in any of the first trilogy. Heck, I never saw that from last time.
that's more of a gift for the extended universe fans.
Again, that's why he's the expert compared to me. Because he knows. On my end, I did it. And that was a good surprise for my end. But at the same time, that really confused me. Because for all I know, does she have does she have enough Mend-
Now the funny part is
Mendicorians?
the funny part she has to knock the door.
Yeah.
She has to knock
But
the
she
door.
was unconscious,
Yeah,
right?
she was unconscious. It was like, tok 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 tok. And that was stupid.
There are a lot of stupid stuff in this movie.
Because the thing is, they keep on saying that, oh, she's gonna die. Oh,
I was all on board for her dying. For the reason that we all know why she should have died in this movie. Because again, Carrie Fisher's, you know, rest in peace.
we don't want her to turn into a CG character like in Rogue One.
Which I hope will not happen in the third film because she still lives in this movie. To the end, she's still alive. She didn't die. Kylo Ren was in the situation we were thinking, oh, she's gonna kill her, she's gonna kill her, she's gonna kill her, but she didn't. He didn't shoot. He didn't pull the trigger. Someone else did. And we saw that she's gonna die because she got sucked into space. And on that end, I was like, oh, okay, she's dead.
And there's a Guardians of the Galaxy moment.
Yeah, there was a Guardians of the Galaxy moment, which for me, she was out there in outer space for a long period of time.
Yes, there's no air.
Which for me, I was thinking she should have died.
She has no oxygen.
And I kept asking you, why is she alive? Force or not, why is she alive? Is that an ability of the Force? Is that an ability of the Jedi?
I'll give you one word. Force equals bullshit. Family-friendly YouTube.
Oh yeah. just to say, don't say those words anymore. Why? YouTube will remove the
That word.
no, not the word, the option for this video to be uh, monetized.
Oh,
So hold off on those. I'd like to, but hold off on those. Just say BS.
yes.
Even though we're not even monetized yet. So, going back. Yeah, so Layla has the Force. Shocked. Amazing. But what the hell?
It has those. It has two things in one go. Is the good and the bad. It was actually amazing.
It was. It was an amazing scene. For the fact that we now know that every Skywalker now has the Force, can now manipulate the Force. Every single Skywalker.
Yeah, Ben.
Ben, Darth Vader, Luke, Leia. Uh, anyone else?
Grandchildren.
If they'll have one, if Ben would if this movie has the weirdest pair-ups in the world.
But it was also the best development in the movie.
Yes, but it had the weirdest pair-ups in the world because some pairings here were just thrown out there and saying, why? On my end, why? Again, I know you fleshed out the characters, you fleshed them out being together, but at the same time, they were not the people that we were seeing on the first movie to be together. But for some odd reason, you wanted them to be the pairings for this movie all throughout. Which, are you trying to do a Han Solo and Luke Skywalker thing? Because it's not working. You know, Luke Skywalker, Leia, and Han Solo triangle thing. It's not working.
Oh,
It's not. Stop shipping! It's like Boku no Hero Academia. Stop the ships! Stop it! I hate ships. That doesn't make sense. Stop!
okay. So we're going now back to the movie. So
Yeah. After the whole Leia having God powers now, let's transition to the part where we've been introduced to the new character, Rose.
Rose.
Um,
Rose is a character that I don't know how to put because she's not annoying,
she's not.
but the problem is you don't know how you could handle the character.
She's adorable. That's one thing I can say. She was adorable.
She's an anime character.
Yeah, she's an anime character. She's a fangirl, pretty much. She's a fangirl, and she has all the skills, being an engineer and all. As far as I know, she's an engineer because she's in the engine or things like that. But at the same time, she is a character that's been paired up with Finn, and for part of the last part of the third act of the movie, she kissed Finn, which was so weird because it came out of nowhere. 'Cause for all I know, they were supposed to be friends, and then she suddenly kissed Finn and said, "You will do anything for the people you love." So, what? 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 This could have worked if you put that on the third film, and
Yes, that will be much more developed.
made it more interesting that there will be a love triangle between Finn, Rey, and Rose. That would have been great. But this
It's
part
too
of
early.
Yeah, it's kind of too early, guys. It's weird. It didn't feel. It didn't feel natural. It felt very
There's
forced.
no chemistry.
No. I can't say that there was no chemistry. There was chemistry there, but
As friends.
yeah, as friends to an extent. There was chemistry between Finn and Rose, but to an extent. You didn't need to go up a bar and say, "Oh, they're lovers now." What? How? Again, it just threw me off, because why?
Because you already had Finn and Rey.
Yeah, people already know that there's a ship for Finn and Rey, and Poe and Finn. But again, it was Finn and Rey. There was something there since the first movie, and there's still something there since this movie came out. But now Rose and Finn, what? But the thing that really uh, didn't fit the movie at all, even though it was pretty much the focus of the story. Because here's the thing: the resistance group are running out of fuel. Every single large ship that they have running out of fuel, stopping, getting destroyed by the First Order. Leia, as she's currently unconscious, had to step back. Someone else had to take the helm of the lead role, which is what's the girl's name? Uh, Commander Hull?
Admiral. She's an admiral.
Admiral who? Oh, there you go. Vice Admiral Haldo, which is played by Laura Dern. I believe she was at Rogue One.
No, she's not exactly at Rogue One, but her character was there.
Are you sure she wasn't on the Rogue One? 'Cause as far as I know, she was introduced there. That's how I perceived it. You know what? Let's take a look for a moment.
Yes.
You continue about that part of the movie where did it did it make sense for it to be there, but story wise it had to be there.
It's just creating tension, which it worked.
We're talking about the casino scene, right?
Oh no, we're talking about the ship.
Yeah, again, that made sense, but I'm talking about the casino planet, which was amazing. At least it's not a planet made of ice and sand, but the casino part.
Oh wait, the casino scenes. That one is a filler.
Yeah.
The best example of a filler in a Star Wars movie.
No. On any movie, it was just there to create
Right.
comedy, slapstick. Oh my God, slapstick comedy there.
Oh, okay. Warwick Davis was in that scene.
Who's Mark Davis?
The lead Ewok. He was the lead Ewok in Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
And he's also the tiny professor in Harry Potter.
Ah,
You should guess who he's there.
the dude who has a lot of money and tried to
Yeah.
use BB-8 as a. Well, that's a very, very comedic character in that scene, but wasn't that thing CG?
Yeah. He was actually doing the movements.
Oh, they could have used practical effects on that instead.
No, because
If you think about it, because there are, just to be clear, there are practical effects here, which is amazing, as it is.
but it's more CG because it's not J.J. Abrams.
Yeah. But moving along, uh, again, the whole Planet Casino thing, it just pretty much wanted to flesh out the character of Rose, to let Finn know where Rose came from, how she became a member of the Resistance, and how she knows a lot about this planet being what it is, being how beautiful it is, and showing that there is a dark side, dark side of this planet, being a casino, being a
It's
planet.
putting real world black weapon politics.
Yeah, pretty much putting the real world in a situation about people who are in power show all this glamorous stuff, but at the back end, they are doing a lot of shady stuff, a lot of shady BS, where they're selling weapons for the First Order, doing a lot of
For the resistance.
animal cruelty and stuff like that. So yeah,
It's trying to go for the Zeta Gundam moment. There is one company who sells both, and the thing is, the casino is trying to go is that we do both. We're just trying to extend the war, and that's the only thing is that the casino is trying to go for a lot of distractions because they're supposed to meet the real Master Codebreaker.
yeah, which supposedly was showed in the movie because he had the brooch or whatever that is. But at the same time, they didn't get him. So it was a waste of time.
So they got someone else who was supposed to be like, oh, that's the real dude. Then suddenly,
It wasn't. He wasn't the real dude.
okay,
He was,
not to disrespect Mr. Del Toro,
which,
because he was good.
yeah, he was a good character. His name is DJ there, but at the same time, so what's the payoff? What's the payoff of introducing that character
Because
that you were trying to look for and you introduced? You literally shown that character in that casino scene, and you need to get. We never got the payoff. Instead, we get Benito del Toro, which was an amazing character, but at the same time, there was nothing. There was nothing to gain from that casino planet. There was nothing for that scene to happen.
it was supposed to be their Lando Castellan.
Yeah, yeah, it was. He was supposed to be, and after that, they got Benito del Toro. They went to the Star Destroyer. That scene was all that whole situation between Ray, Finn, Rose, everybody being in the Star Destroyer. Everything was amazing. Now, talking about
Benicio.
Benicio del Toro. Oh, again, we were joking around talking about him being a part of this movie and at the same time being in the MCU.
The Collector.
Yeah, being the situation that he's in prison in this one. We were talking about, you know what? Probably the Benicio del Toro as the Collector got caught by this police for collecting too many stuff, and then
Yes.
got in jail because of this. Because the way he talks here still sounds like the Collector.
Except he smiles more.
Yeah, he smiles more,
He's
and
not deadpan.
yeah, he's not deadpan. I know, but he smiles more. He's more animated, but at the same time, the way he talks, it's all about business. Which is again the Collector. He is all
He
about
actually
business.
talked to Finn about that in one scene.
hmm About the planet itself, the people who are dealing with the First Order are also dealing with the Resistance. The people who are making weapons for the Resistance are also making weapons for the First Order, so they're double dipping. But that was it. There was nothing there. It just showed that a lot of people in this universe you can't trust. There's really a dark and a light side for every single one. We already know that. So the whole thing about this planet, this whole casino planet, was total nonsense. It should have some payoff, but we didn't get anything. But going to the whole thing about Finn and everybody trying to save the resistance group.
Before we do that, let's talk about one thing that you say that you actually like.
Yeah. The one thing I liked about the just one scene, the ring where Rose showed the kids from that planet that they could trust them. That we're part of the resistance, and then she opened up a part of the ring and showed the resistance logo. That was awesome. I love that ring. Anyone everyone who has that ring or can link us where to get that ring, put it in the comment section below. I want to buy it.
People will create the First Order versions, the Sith versions. If they will make it, yeah, I will stick to the Alliance because that felt more better.
Resistance.
Yeah, the Resistance.
So, do we need to even talk about the Luke and Rey situation?
Oh, because
I think we need to.
okay, but before we do that, let's talk about the other side of the spectrum first. Because the thing about Luke and Rey is essentially the biggest cock tease of the movie. Because they have jumbled concepts of the dark. It wanted to show that the dark is not really evil, but the payoff in the end is, I'm gonna stick the light. So, how they actually portray Luke is he's afraid of confronting the past.
Yeah, he is. Because he failed being a teacher to Kylo Ren. Because the way it happened was, Ray went to that planet where Luke was, wanted to get trained by Luke Skywalker.
No, she wanted to get him first,
Yeah,
but
again,
he offered to train.
yeah, but the situation was he didn't want to because he didn't want to be connected to the Force whatsoever. He just wanted to die as the last Jedi for the fact that he sees the Jedi as the source of all conflict.
Okay, so here's the thing I wanted to know about because on the first movie they wanted to look for Luke because they said that he was supposed to go on a quest.
He did it. He found the quest that he was talking about. The quest to find the Jedi text, the first Jedi temple.
And he's going to burn it.
We'll get to that.
And Ray got it.
Yeah, Ray got it. I don't know if she even read it.
Nobody will read it.
Again, in the movie, we don't even know if they even read the sacred Jedi text. But the point of the matter is, Rey's being trained, and she is freaking OP when it comes to the Force, based on what Luke is saying. She's very powerful, supposedly. Luke even said, even in the trailer, that he knows he's seen this much of power. Back then, he wasn't afraid, but now he is. Because I think he's focusing on both Kylo and Rey being just two individuals who has such enormous control for the Force, but at the same time, both are the equivalent of each other. That's pretty much, and also that's something that Snoke pulled out during their conversation at the Star Destroyer. But moving back to the relationship between Luke and Rey, they have this teacher-student relationship, which again, in some ways, worked.
They barely passed the first lesson.
Yeah, for the fact that Luke didn't even, again, for the most part, Luke didn't even go with Rey. He still gave up. He still said that no, just go at the end. But
okay, so if we're going to talk about Luke's okay, let's say Mark Hamill's performance. Okay, so
let's not go there yet.
Mhm.
I really want to dwell on the idea about Rey on this part because during her training, we were in a situation about Rey finding out of who she was. What's her position in this whole movie, on this whole franchise? And then we saw a situation where she is conflicted between the dark and the light due to the fact that she has this weird psychic link between him and Kylo Ren. This is borderlining creepy, where for some odd reason Kylo Ren is mentally linked or force linked to Rey, where they can communicate and see each other. That's creepy as hell. So are you telling me that Kylo Ren can just see Rey naked?
There is a reason why it happened.
No, we have to get that out. Kylo Ren can see Rey naked.
She did see him naked already.
Half naked. But we're talking about Kylo Ren seeing her naked.
She's seen the Disney abs.
It's mandatory. But that's creepy as hell, guys. Why in hell is a freaking person who we didn't like in the first movie, now we suddenly liked him now, is able to automatically do a peeping Tom against a very cool looking and amazing character and at the same time pretty girl like that? How? Can someone teach me the Force? No, kidding. But that was so creepy on my end. What the hell? What the F is going on? Why are they able to do this? I can understand if they were just able to talk to each other, but they said they can see each other.
He only sees Rey, but not around her.
It doesn't matter if he doesn't see anything around her. She sees her.
He
He sees her.
she doesn't bathe.
She still needs to change clothes.
He can still get hurt.
And here's the thing: they can feel each other.
Yes.
That's F up. That's effed up. God. I know it's just a pervert in me, but I don't care. That's effed up. All right. But again, that's a very that's a very that's not specific, but a main thing in the story, because both Kylo and Rey were trying to pull each other to their side. They were so trying to get Kylo Ren to the light, Kylo Ren to the Rey to the dark. They were trying to really do this tug of war, which a part of this movie became a tug of war. But at the end of the day, no one gave. No one gave between the two of them. But let's talk about the gray stuff here. The way the movie is going right now, Rey's not gonna turn gray.
No.
Rey's not gonna turn gray. If there's anyone in this franchise right now who's gonna turn gray, that's Kylo Ren. Because he's freaking conflicted. Come on, he killed Han, yeah, but he didn't kill Leia. And at the end of the day, he did something in this movie that shocked everyone. Even though, based on how the scene was being built, we saw it coming. But the way it was done, it was shocking. It got my jaw dropped to the floor. It was so out of left field on how it happened. But we'll get to that soon. It's very soon. So there was this part where Rey was in the tunnel where it's supposed to be the dark, and this planet was residing. There was this mirror thing there, and he touched it and things like that. And she was asking, "Can I see my parents?" And she only saw herself, which turned on a light bulb on my end. We don't have clones in this.
No.
Is she the last clone?
No, there's only one type of clones, and there are
Jango
Fett's.
I know, but it won't. It again, we understand that it's only Jango Fett. I understand that part, but it doesn't mean, and I mean this. I'm sure you understand this as well. It doesn't mean that technology would inhibit them from making other clones. We don't know. Probably they said, let's try making another clone, probably for a woman. Because for some odd reason, so a sausage party is not enough. Again, there has to be a person who has the brain to say, we need women clones. Because, again, we can't have men being men as our soldiers. We have to have assassins. Women are the best assassins out there, if you think about it. Mm-hmm. Look at Black Widow. She uses everything from top to toe for what she's doing. I'm sure she does. But the point of the matter here is, if Rey is a clone, and they dwell on that in the third movie, that would be a very good character arc. And you're saying, I shouldn't even exist. I'm just a clone. I'm just a person made out of a dish. That could have been something that they could dwell on. I'm going to be interested in that. I would be full on board of the idea that a clone is there. Probably, again, this is theorizing, and I'm definitely going off the border here. What if? Again, we all were thinking that Snoke was a clone of Palpatine.
Well, some people think he's an alien.
Yeah, but there are people as well who are thinking that he's the clone of Palpatine. Because the way his ability of the Force is being shown is amazing. What if because Palpatine said that he has numerous bodies. He didn't say that it's the same physical look, because as far as I know, based on what I'm hearing from people, it didn't need to be the same.
So you're saying she's a vessel?
Yes. What if she's a vessel of Palpatine? What if she is Palpatine? Because at the same time, Luke said that he saw that amount of power. Unlimited power! I said it. I said that I'm going across the border. I'm going out of the whole situation of fandom here. But if, and only if, she is a vessel of Palpatine,
which was free.
Was freed by some sort of scientist. It doesn't make sense in a way, but it sticks on the idea of connecting the first trilogy to this one. It makes sense in a way of connecting that, because we now have a situation to make Rey from a person who's conflicted of joining the dark or the light even more. Because we know that Palpatine is a person who's purely dark. Now we have a clone of him at the light side. What if? And now Ben, or Kylo Ren, who's again profusely based on context, is a person of light shifting to the dark.
It's, if you're actually going for that theory, it's kind of like the reverse of the final battle.
I know. Which again, on my end, is kind of great, because thinking of it being as it is, the way I'm theorizing this, it will literally kick everyone to the curb. It will shock everyone. It will get everyone drop-jawed. It will literally blow everybody's mind for the idea that we got a frigging woman as Palpatine. We got a person saying unlimited power.
Well, we won't go that far.
I know they will. But you know what? I will tweet and hashtag Rey, the actress, and say that she has to do a meme of her doing unlimited power. Not necessarily in Star Wars, but in an interview. She has to do that, and that will be amazing. And again, it will not give my theory credibility, but at the same time, it will be fun. You see where I'm coming here, right? It's a very short possibility, a small possibility, a tiny, but if it connects, it would make sense. Alright, so we're done with the Luke thing.
Well, we haven't talked about Luke. Okay.
Then go with Luke. You go with Luke.
Alright, because the thing about Luke is a mixed bag. Because on the character side,
you're off the camera, dude.
For the how you want to have it portrayed, because the problem is at first he's going Joker.
Well, as you said, years of portraying Joker, doing the Joker voice, ruined his voice. So, on my end, probably because I haven't watched a lot of Star Wars recently. All I hear is Mark Hamill.
Oh, wait. And one good thing about the
just to clarify, the way the voice thing is just a little nitpick. So go back.
Oh, wait. But one thing what I would actually have to applaud him for at first is if he was showing that he was hurt. Mark Hamill did really nailed it.
What part?
When he was crying, when he was wanting to reenact the scenes, how he acted there.
Which part?
Everything.
That's the thing. There were too many parts where he's so depressed, So I'm so disconnected to everything. You disconnected yourself to the Force.
But
Well,
what
it
I
makes
mean
sense.
is when he shows conflict, he's this is one of his best
Ah, you
performances.
mean the part where he's thinking of killing Kylo Ren?
Yes,
Oh yes, that part was that was good.
that was the best what you can get from Mark Hamill. If Rogue One gets the Anakin moment, this one is his moment because even if they say that it's kind of pathetic, but the thing is, you can really feel his performance in this one. And that's one thing that I actually really applaud for the middle performance because the middle part of the movie is kind of weak, but this
It
one
don't say it's kinda. It is
it is.
because that's the part where the casino thing is.
Okay. And also,
Oh yeah. To be honest, that's already a part of the third act.
that's
That's
the
already
beginning. That's the beginning of the third act.
yeah. That's the beginning of the third act. Um, let's go there. Let's go there. That was fun. That was hell fun. And for one, Yoda is not CG. For some odd reason, Yoda wasn't CG in this.
He's mixed.
Yeah, but for the whole time that we see Yoda,
It's puppets.
it's full of practical
But
effects.
the laughing part is not.
I don't really see that as CG because the way his leg work, it's
But his
still
face.
probably, but his body was still very uh
Muppet.
yeah, very pompous because it didn't the flow
I
of the
said
movement.
Muppet.
Yeah, Muppet. The way the flow of his movements was very controlled. So it didn't see it did the way I saw it was not
but,
CGI.
but
But
there's no strings. There's no um, clever way of hiding someone.
uh, more likely because the guy who was doing the puppetry was wearing a green suit. Made sense.
Yeah, that's kind of cheating.
Eh, but again, Luke has decided already that again the Jedi has to end. The Jedi has to be finished. It has to end with me and stuff like that. So he decided to burn down
The great tree.
the first Jedi temple where the sacred text was there. And he was even talking to Yoda about it. I'm gonna burn it down. And he stopped. And then Yoda said, "Ah," and decided, shut a lightning bolt at that tree and burn it down.
Yeah,
Seth Rollins style.
he kind of being such an dick to
A
Luke.
troll. He pretty much became a troll to Luke. And I liked it. It was so funny.
But he did actually say one of the best words. Failure is a great teacher.
Eh, I'm not saying it was a bad thing, but I've heard that line in different ways. A teacher is a teacher is only a teacher if he learns from his mistakes or if he learns from his students. Things like that. It's the same thing.
But the only thing that you cannot really take off from is the dynamic of Yoda and Luke is kind of endearing to the people who watch The Empire Strikes Back because
Yeah.
it goes in full circle. Now he's teaching him becoming a teacher, and that actually was very heartwarming for people who actually like the original trilogy because it's like a send off, or it's more like a tribute to the Dagobah scene.
A send off. We'll get to that. Alright. Let's go to the whole part where Rey went to the First Order to physically try to reel in Kylo Ren to the light. Where Kylo Ren decided, so nope, I'm not. I'm gonna feed you to Snoke. I'm gonna show Snoke that I'm a loyal subject. That I am Kylo Ren. There has been monologues, discussions, talk, Snoke. Again, who's the actor? Andy Serkis did an amazing job. Disappointing. Snoke was disappointing. And I'm sure 110% each and every one of you guys right now who's watching this will say the same thing. Snoke was a disappointment of a character. We didn't get any payoff. We didn't get any development. We didn't get BS from that character. He was built up to be this amazing, massive antagonist villain, but we didn't get S from him. Agreed?
Kind of. Palpatine is short, but he's still intimidating.
Yeah. Again, Snoke was intimidating with how he was able to manipulate the Force, but at the same time, who was he? That's the thing. There was nothing. He was a CGI character that was,
Pretty good CGI.
yeah, pretty good CGI, but he was still just a CGI character to be turned as cannon fodder.
At least he was better than Steppenwolf.
Give and take, because he was intimidating. He was intimidating, but at the end of the day, we didn't get any backstory. Why was he the leader of the First Order? Why?
Comics.
But in the movie, nothing.
No, I mean official Disney comics.
I get that, but the fans who were watching the movie, and I'm sure you would agree, would have wanted to know more on who this guy is. Why is he in the position he was in right now?
It's a similar problem with General Grievous. Because in episode 3, if you know him because you watched the cartoon, and when you see him die, you thought he was pathetic if you haven't watched that cartoon. And the thing about Snoke is, I don't know if there's some comics about Snoke.
Huh? Comments about Snoke?
No, comic books. Because there's comic books about Darth Vader. Lots of comic books about Darth Vader, but we don't get anything about...
You know what? What if they do a Rogue One on this? What if they do a Rogue One on this and gave us the story of Snoke in coming movie?
Oh, no.
Hey, they did a Rogue One. They did a Rogue One.
And Solo.
So, probably this is a way for Disney just to cash in that Star Wars franchise, man. Hey, we didn't give you any backstory of our stuff, but don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Star Wars is not dying yet. We're not going to do a reboot. We're going to introduce Snoke to you full-fledged on a Solo movie. Yay!
We get 3 more movies. Star Wars is now being milked.
Oh!
And people say that Marvel's
Wait! Milk. Blue milk. Everyone knows now where blue milk comes from. Visually. That was... that's your word. On my end, that was... You didn't need to put that. I don't know if it was funny. A part of me is saying it's funny, but at the same time...
You've ruined blue milk.
It's a family movie.
Yeah, someone will cosplay a blue milk.
Oh no! God no! No!
Blue milk.
No!
Someone will cosplay blue milk guy.
Those things don't even look like otters.
Yeah, they could just use pipes.
No. The movie, the way that Luke got milk. Sorry, I don't have got milk. But the way Luke got milk from that thing, it didn't look like the way you get milk from cows. It felt like you were trying to get milk from a woman's breast.
It's something coming out of a tentacle.
No, it didn't come up from a tentacle. No, it didn't. It came from the otter of that thing. It had like 4 otters, But and here's the thing: it's not from the upper body; it was from the lower end.
That's like the cows. They also have the
I
lower end.
know, I know. But the part is the way I get that, but it didn't look like cow's otters. Now, given the fact that hey guys, they were aliens, so how would you want it to be? It didn't need to be looking like otters, like like cows.
Cows.
It had to be different. Yes, but did you need to show us how you pump milk from them? You didn't need to do that. You could have just, showed
No,
us that Luke was reaching down and getting
no,
milk.
no. It's better if you actually show the milk, then say, "Oh, where did you get the milk?" Then he points to the creatures. Then you feel repulsed. You don't have to.
Visually show us.
Yes, you just have to show the animal, and you show the other. Then say, "Ugh." Then that's enough.
Yeah, he didn't need to again let us know the process, and then he dragged it.
He drank it directly.
He dragged it, and then toast to you. And then Ray was looking at that thing, and the thing looked at her, and then she looked away because she knows that was disgusting.
It's
For the fact, again, the reason why I find it disturbing was not because it was milk, not because it was their own version of a cow, but because the way the otter looks. They look like human breast. They look like like a guy was pumping milk from a woman who's pregnant. Now, people would say you're being too sexist. I don't know if that's a sexist thing. You're not being too open about the idea of that. Guys, fine, I'm okay, but at the same time, that didn't need to be there. CG or not, it's the same thing with animal cruelty. It's the same thing with
no
that.
animals were harmed.
Yeah, yeah. Again, no animals were harmed, but they're people. They're people.
One was cooked.
No, no, no. No, there are people, based on what I saw on Facebook and stuff like that, saying that there were outrage. There were people outraged at the idea that they showed that a porg was cooked. It's a CGI puppet character. It doesn't exist. And that's a part you're disturbed and trying to literally complain about. And you're not complaining about the idea.
Hey, Chewbacca at least gained a conscience.
I know, but the point is they showed that they killed a pork.
Not literally killed.
I know, but they cooked it.
Yeah, they cooked it.
It looked so
It
delicious.
was delicious, yes.
But the point is, people were outraged of that. And on my end, why are you complaining about that, where they killed a puppet or CGI character, while we saw literal breast, CG breast there, being pumped in milk, and you didn't talk about that? Again, I'm fine with both, and it's just me being very disturbed about that. But at the same time, I say breast pumping is way above cooking a freaking CGI non-existent animal.
Non-existent penguin, bird, whatever.
And at the same time, I don't know, it's just so weird. And again, I just probably digged my own grave there by saying that killing an animal is above molesting an animal.
It's not really molesting. You just got milk. You're just being pervert.
Got milk.
Alright, so we're now stalling you from the best part of the third act. The Red Room scene. So they're in the Red Room.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, so here's the thing. Remember the Praetorian Guards? These guys had good looking uniforms, but you didn't see them fight. The part in me, when I was young, I said I want to see them fight. Because they had the cool looking designs.
And they were supposed to be the elites.
And
Wait,
now, yeah.
the elites.
And now afterwards, we see them fight. And yes, there were 6 of them. But the thing is,
They held their own against two Jedis.
And they said that, what about the Force? Yeah, they flew, but they got back. They are very resilient. They're tough. They actually had to resort to cheap tactics.
Rey and Kylo. That's what he meant. And at the same time, here's the thing. Being Jedis and Sith Lords, you wouldn't think that they would use the Force against these people. Because if you think about it, using the Force is cut out just being, lazy. Right? That's just being lazy. If you're a Jedi and you use Force against cannon fodder, fine. You're just being lazy. But here's the thing. Kylo Ren and Rey knows that these are the elite. These are the best of the people that the First Order pretty much has. They were serious in this. They had to use everything against them. Again, you could say that this was a short fight. Hell no, it was a short fight. You could say you're going to say that there were too many of them. Yeah, sure, but at the same time, this was two Jedi guys. There was a Sith Lord. We got a protege or a Padawan Jedi against
a Sith Master.
Against a few elite guards. And you could say that they're just supposed to be cannon fodder, but they weren't. They gave them a run for their money. There were a lot of close calls in this. There were a lot.
And here's the thing. Okay, so many lightsabers. Why can't you make their weapons new toys?
Their weapons was amazing. They
Sword
were
whips,
awesome.
spears, and daggers. Okay, so at least give them the sword whip.
That was cool. That was amazing. They reminded me of heat blades from Gundam. Literally, they reminded me of heat blades from Gundam. Again, we got lightsabers from the Jedi and Sith Lords. We pretty much got like Gundams versus Zaku's here.
Yes.
And just if you think about it, the way that the costumes of those guys look like now, they look like Zaku's.
Well, Gundam was inspired from Star Wars.
I know. I get that, and I know, and that's why I'm bringing that up anyway.
Mm.
But the way the costumes look like now, yeah, they look like Zaku's now, right?
Just one eye.
Yeah, and again, the fight was the best thing you could hope for. But before that, Snoke died. I can see him turning on the lightsaber and killing the enemy that he knows he has to destroy.
That was funny in hindsight.
Yeah, because they were building it up, and I was saying, oh, he's gonna turn. Kylo Ren's gonna turn to the light. He's gonna betray Snoke. Parang he will use his lightsaber, killing the guards, things like that. But no, he didn't kill the guards first. You know who he killed first?
Snoke. That's the part that I felt that suddenly fell through me. Because at first you're going to think, okay, he's going to die in the last movie. And it's like, what are we going to do? Actually, I was panicked. Wait a minute. Are they going to turn Ren the main bad guy now?
Yeah, they are.
He has no redemption arc?
No. They tried.
No, I mean, after.
No, they were building up for a redemption arc for this. They were, they were showing it. But at the end of the day, I really see him being the Grey. We'll talk about that. But the way Snoke died here was priceless. It was amazing. It was disappointing.
No blood.
We can say that there shouldn't be blood because
he's a husk.
No. Come on, dude. He was cut by a lightsaber.
Stab.
No. He was cut by a lightsaber.
He was stabbed first.
He was cut by a lightsaber.
In half.
You could say that he was cut. He was stabbed here because Kylo Ren. No. I would say Snoke was dumb to leave a lightsaber pointed at his direction.
He could have sensed it.
Yeah, he was being, he's doing the
The
whole
bad guy.
the bad guy villain monologue thing. So the villain speech. So he placed Rey's lightsaber at his side as he again grabbed
Yes.
it by force wise, and then Kylo Ren just did this, turned it on, stabbed Snoke, and then cut him in half. And there's a reason why there's no blood. It burned.
Burn.
It burned the veins. That's why the blood never flowed out. And again, by the end, there was blood
He
appearing.
could have coughed up blood.
There was still some blood appearing in some parts. Probably came out of his ass or something. Because there was blood when his body fell. When his body finally fell from his chair, which took a while. It took a while.
Alright, so... Okay, and once we actually get the fight, let's go to the other side of the fight.
Oh, you're talking about Finn and Phasma?
Okay, so...
Are you talking about that or are you talking about something else?
No, that's the next side of the fight. This is where, if we got the most awesome scene of the Praetorians versus the Jedi and the Sith, then we got to the other side where...
Yeah, because Finn and Rose was able to get to the Death Star, was trying to get to the coast so that the Star Destroyer that the Resistance was on would have removed the GPS version of Star Wars disabled. Because the whole reason why they're being able, why the First Order was able to catch up to the Resistance even via light speed was because they got a GPS track on the Star Destroyer, which makes sense
because they stole one of the ships.
because they stole a Star Destroyer.
So, of course, that giant ship
It's owned by them, so they would have, tracking services for that. It made sense
at the same time it felt stupid.
for the Resistance end.
Alright, so we get the fight of Finn versus Phasma. Here's the thing, because they disrespected the character. Because they got a good TV actress. They got a woman who actually sounds intimidating. So we got on the first movie, we got...
Looks intimidating.
Okay.
She's tall as fudge.
And she has all the good lines, and suddenly just...
And she had tough armor.
Oh, let's go.
Lasers don't even penetrate it.
Alright, let's go first to the first movie. So, they toss her on the trash. She survived.
Which made sense now because she has indestructible armor.
And now, her armor actually was destroyed because of the axe.
No, not the axe. We could say it's a mace.
Oh, it's a mace. Oh, it's an electrical mace. Oh, wait. And the thing is, she fell in the fire. People say she'll survive. Yes. The thing is, this losing streak is humiliating. Even more humiliating than Boba Fett. Boba Fett fell in a sand, Hermione fell. He hyped him up and they fell. Now, Phasma, yes, she was a spiritual successor to Boba Fett. Thank you very much. Twice. Let's hope we go to the third one that she had better armor than she fell in the Rancor pit.
Phasma is an amazing character. For all the wrong reasons.
We're not the only ones who are annoyed.
I'm so amazed at how they were able to BS a character this much.
They hyped her up.
They hyped her up in the movie. They were having a fight. Finn and her were having a good fight. For as much as it was, again, it wasn't a good fight, but for much as what we got, it was kind of good. We even have a Sentai / Kamen Rider part where part of the mask was destroyed. We didn't even get to see her face again. We only saw her eye.
That's the thing about the wrong part of Star Wars is people said that, oh, she's the new Boba Fett, Everyone on the internet hype the good parts of Boba Fett. Then they realize, she's she's the Boba Fett. She's the Boba Fett for the bad reasons.
Yeah, well, as you said, Boba Fett wasn't even the best Boba Fett. The best Boba Fett was the first Boba Fett. Because the first Boba Fett, which was who?
Jango Fett.
Jango Fett.
Kill-
Kill Jedis!
Sure, his head was cut off, but how many did he kill? A lot!
Boba Fett, how many people did he kill? Was there any Jedis?
They will say in the comics. Which is a cop-out. We only count movies.
Well, you can't say that. Well, you know what? Say it. It doesn't matter. We're gonna get a lot of hate stuff anyway in the comment section. If we do, which I would be interested to see all your
People
rants.
will agree with us that they'll hate Phasma as well for the that reason.
I don't want to hate on Phasma because for one, she was a cool character visually.
She was actually having a good voice.
But at the same time, guys,
Is it a punishment?
come on!
You know, this movie has a lot of Star Wars punishment for fans.
Yeah, a lot. Theories, things like that, as I said, just throw it out the window. Not gonna happen.
They didn't care anymore, actually. And we were not fans, but we were still invested in it. Then after watching the movie, they realized, oh, fuck.
Everything about what we were thinking, everything about Ray turning gray.
And we thought this was the movie that at least will make a
and here's the thing. But on the first movie, everyone was thinking that before the first movie hit, we were all thinking that Finn was a clone and things like that, right?
No, it wasn't.
But no, people were thinking like that he was a clone because he didn't have a family and things like that. But no. Now I'm thinking that Rey's a clone. I'm bringing that up again. I know. So now let's go to the part where
DJ?
No. Yeah, the DJ part again. We already talked about it. He was an amazing character. He sold him off.
Oh,
Great.
but the thing is, yes, that's the part that is the most jarring of it. So we got off that part, and now they're gonna meet all again.
No. I want to talk about this. The first part of the third act. Or like we can see it probably is the second part of the first act. Or the third act, sorry. Which confused me as hell. People who made the story and decided to okay this were either confused or just couldn't decide. Because they had three things going for them on how the Resistance was able to get away from the First Order. They got three things. One, the whole Master Codebreaker thing of them being able to use light speed, escape the First Order with the ounce of fuel that they pretty much have enough left,
So they can go to the planet.
so that they could go to another planet and refuel and remove the GPS thing that the First Order has on them. Didn't happen. But
Well,
again,
actually, they did complete it.
yeah, they did complete, but they didn't. Where
But
they
in
were,
the end, it's not.
it's not what they used. It's not what they went with.
Yes.
And then there was this whole thing about Commander Holdo, Admiral Holdo, being teased as a
A spy.
spy, which they never went through.
Actually, because she did a good job being a spy, as the actress, I mean. She did very good, at least convincing you that she was.
No, not convincing the viewers
Hmm.
as she's someone that's probably just gonna bait everyone to get killed by the First Order. Again, they tried that, but never pulled the trigger on it. And then they went with her
Being the savior.
being the savior for the Resistance. But at the same time, they never went through with it again, because almost every single escape pod got decimated.
Yes, they don't have a chance to escape, so she's not really a savior. Because if she would, they would have found a way. Like, okay, they will go out, and suddenly you'll notice, why do those tiny ships go less by less? They could have gone with that, and Paul would have noticed that.
And then they decided with the idea of her. again, she's already doing a sacrifice thing because the whole ship can't pretty much function without anyone piloting it, which makes sense anyway. But rather than going through with that, with her dying, with all the resistance folks, going to the plot to the other planet, with the First Order not seeing it, and then suddenly them knowing that the escape pods were there and started shooting them
because
one
yes.
by one.
Because DJ gave the coordinates.
Yeah, which they pretty much gave us a situation where DJ was the the traitor for the whole situation. So rather than getting Commander Admiral Holdo as the traitor, we got DJ as the traitor, which
was more of a traitor being for a random reason.
Yeah, because business is business. But that part, again, they use three things for one payoff, for which Admiral Holdo, I keep saying Commander, Admiral Holdo turned the entire Star Destroyer against the ship of the First Order and went light speed for what little fuel they have and used the entire ship as a battering ram and almost destroyed the entire fleet, which was, again, was amazing. The whole movie went silent for that scene, which, again, visually it was amazing, but at the same time, you had three things going for you. You never chose the one or each and any of those stuff, but you went with the latter for giving us a visual, again, something that is visually appealing. Again, it paid off, but at the same time, it confused me because why can't you just choose one of the three that you pretty much went out with and just just go with it? Did you just want to say, let's get all this stuff in there and go with the most visually appealing thing? Which for me really got me to the point where this movie didn't know what to do with it. Didn't know what to do with itself. Because a lot of reviewers did say as well that this movie would have been good if they just tied everything together as solid as they could. If they just if they stitched everything up the way it was supposed to be. But they weren't able to do that. They just went with one scene, or they just went with one idea after another, and then went with another idea, and never went with any of those, and decided to go with something else.
It felt like a fanfic that person doesn't know what to do.
Yeah. That's the part where it really got me. Where, to be honest, that's the scene, or that's the scenes that made me say, this is just a good setup movie for what's gonna happen on the third series, on the third sequel. And it gave us a lot of good things to think about, because a movie is good for what it is if it was fun and if it makes you think. And this movie made us think of a lot of things. It was good. But for a great Star Wars or a great movie in general, no, it wasn't.
They didn't have the magic of Marvel's holding all the good directors.
No, they didn't have the Disney magic.
Marvel hold all the good directors.
Well, you want James Gunn to do a Star Wars movie? Would have.
Okay, but the point is that we got Star Wars fans as directors. Some hit, some miss. And the thing is, a lot of fans say they could do better than George Lucas. And
oh God, they could do a lot better than George Lucas. I'm sure everybody agrees on that.
Oh yes, but the problem is sometimes they can do just as weird as he does. It's just that there are some good scenes. There's not good, so I'm actually afraid of the director was not entirely focused on what they're doing, or worse, the cinematographer or the script writers. It's just that you really felt that there's a disconnect.
Oh, a lot of disconnect. All right, so we're at the last part of the movie. Everybody who's pretty much everybody else who's left from the Resistance was able to get to this planet that's made out of salt, and pretty much had their last stand against the whole Resistance group. Sorry, the First Order. After Kylo Ren murdered and outright lied to Commander Husk.
Yes, Hoss.
Is that Commander?
General Hoss.
General Hux, saying that Rey killed the Emperor.
Technically, it was her saber, so you can really paint.
He's lying because he just wants to,
But
have
yeah,
power.
Hux was not that stupid. But and that's when Kylo Ren goes full Darth Vader.
Yeah, and he said he did this. He did the Force choke.
Yes, supreme leader.
Yeah, and there was still some parts on the last act of the movie where General Hux was still not into the idea that Kylo Ren is the new supreme leader.
He didn't bode well with it. It's kind of like Tarkin from Star Wars.
Yeah,
But Tarkin died in the first Star Wars movie. This guy managed to survive
yeah,
a whole lot of beating.
until probably the next movie. But going back on that end, we got what we were hoping for as the fight of the century, which never happened. Luke versus Kylo Ren. How much of a cop out that was. But again, it was a emotional situation, especially the end part. But at the end of the day, what a cop out, man. They never gave us they never gave us the fight we wanted. You know what? Fudge that. That never amounted to anything after what we found out at the end. Okay, so Luke showed up on the planet for some odd reason, and we were thinking, oh, he used his spaceship because the spaceship was there under the sea, things like that, on the planet he was in. So he probably used light speed because
Luke is a mechanic.
yeah, but for some odd reason now, on the Force Awakens, small ships now has light speed anyway, right? So now they have light speed here, and we were thinking that he got to the planet where Rey and the whole Resistance was in, which made me think now, how did he find out that they were there in the first place? Well, okay, now it made me think he has the Force.
Yes,
Yeah,
he awoke in his Force to his sister.
yeah. So he pretty much went there, met up with his sister with a new haircut.
And they had the heart to heart.
With the Luke Skywalker haircut. Right? He didn't have that long thing that he had from almost the entirety of the movie. And then he went toe to toe with Kylo Ren. They did a lightsaber thing. You know what? Did their lightsabers clash?
No. He never struck. He just dodges.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember if their lightsabers clashed. Never,
No,
right?
they didn't clash.
So the first part where Luke confronted Kylo Ren was so freaking pissed off and decided that all the guns that he had, shoot on that guy. And they did. And I was thinking, oh my god, he's going to do a Force thing where it's just going to block every beam, or probably all the beams that they have, because Kylo Ren did it on the Force Awakens, right? The beam was being shot at him, and it just stops it mid-air and shot it somewhere else, right? But no, they didn't go with that. They went with some a much. To be honest, I think the whole beam thing would have been a lot more badass, where he deflected it all back to the First Order. But no, they didn't go with that. They went with a situation that the beams never hit him, and he said, "Oh damn! Oh, it's going down, motherfuckers! They're going down, motherfuckers. So Kylo Ren stepped out of the ship. They had the fight. Luke went full Neo on this and said, shh, all those that like that. But at the end, they were thinking that because what Luke was doing was buying time for the Resistance to get out. And they were. Rey got there and lifted rocks.
And that's that moment.
Yeah, and then Luke unsheathed his lightsaber and just let Kylo Ren cut him in half.
Well, he did.
Or so we thought. Because it was just a force.
Force Ghost.
No, it was a force image.
Oh.
Again, it wasn't the ghost.
It's a Kagebunshin.
Yeah, he used a Kagebunshin. Which was amazing.
Considering they're so far.
Light years away! So, that, again, was that something that was available
Oh,
in the mythos?
Yoda can go anywhere.
As a force ghost. But was that something that was available in the whole Star Wars mythos?
Well,
Or this was something that was just introduced recently?
No, Obi-Wan can do it.
Did he do it?
Not entirely, because he did that in between 3 and 4, as what they said.
3 and 4?
Episode
3?
Episode 4.
What, the part where he died?
No, I said between 3 and 4.
Oh,
That's the first Star Wars.
so comic books.
Yes.
Yeah. So we got that.
Yeah.
Luke wasn't there, and even Kylo Ren was saying, he poked him! You're not even here!
They have to, yeah.
You're not even here! See you, Kylo Ren. See you, Ben. And then Luke Skywalker died. Peacefully. He was sitting there on the planet and then he disappeared.
They have to do that moment.
Yeah. Just like Yoda, he just disappeared.
Just like Ben. He got hit and disappeared. But not Darth Vader. He did not disappear.
Yeah, because he had too much dark in him.
No, he had the high ground.
Unlimited power. So,
We forgot one guy.
what?
Poe.
What, you want to talk about Leia shooting him?
Not just that, but the thing about the movie, you want to feel that he's right, but they want to say he's wrong.
Well, Poe didn't really do much in the movie. They focused a lot on the new characters and the main characters.
Yeah, that's like part 1.
And oh yeah, let's talk about ships for a moment. I don't want Kylo Ren and Rey. No. No.
Touch me.
No.
Touch me.
No.
Touch my hand. Touch
No.
my hand, Ray.
No.
We see the future, Ray. The future of us together.
Yeah, it sounds like that. It sounds so robotic, but at the same time, it's compelling.
Yes.
I don't know how you're able to sound monotonous, robotic, and sound compelling.
There's emotion despite without emotion.
Which is so weird.
He nailed that part.
Right. What? But it's just creepy.
He was very Jedi-ish for a Sith character.
Because he's the one turning gray.
But what I mean is, if you see, Darth Vader is very poetic.
He's turning gray. He's conflicted on what he wants to do. And during the conversation between him and Rey, after they beaten the whole elite guards and Snoke dying out of being a meat puppet, he said that we will dismantle the Jedi. We will destroy the Sith. We will be an entire
new ecosystem.
In other words, he was talking about being
That's great.
gray.
The power of both.
Which on this end, now we're shifting to a different situation. We're not seeing Gray Ray.
But
We're
Gray.
seeing Ben Ray. Ben
Ray.
Gray.
Ben Ray.
Ben Gray.
Ben Gray. You're saying Ben Ray?
I know. We're seeing Ben Gray. Which on my end, that's interesting. They're going on a different field. They're going on a different route. Which again, for me, as I said, there are good stuff in this movie, but at the same time, there were very polarizing situations where there are huge chunk of the film where it really threw me off. There were some very disturbing parts in this movie that are saying, why is it there? But I will not say it was a bad movie. I will not say it was a meh movie. I would say it was a good movie to watch. It was a setup for something that hopefully will pay off on the next one. There were a lot of parts here where we didn't get anything from what we theorized. We didn't get anything from what we were hoping to get, like character development from Snoke. But at the end of the day, it was a setup. Now, what are they going to do with Leia? What are they going to do with Carrie Fisher? They kept her alive.
Luke's dead. Han's dead. Ironically, the person who's actually dead
is alive. What? Next movie we're gonna keep Carrie Fisher alive. We're gonna get who's the Wookiee?
Chewie.
We're gonna get Chewie again. This again, the way I'm seeing it, they're setting up Chewie dying.
Chewie is a Force ghost.
Do you want to see Chewie dead? Do you think there's a payoff for Chewie dying?
No. She would go with Rey.
For me, the people that should die in the next movie, again, character-wise, okay, is again Leia.
Let her rest in peace.
Yeah. And R2-D2.
Actually, it was implied.
What?
He never left the planet.
No, he left the planet.
Okay.
He's in the Millennium Falcon.
Okay.
That's why he was even there in the planet in the first place.
Okay.
Rey took him.
Alright.
Because he had the map.
Okay. But we save this the best for last. BB-8.
BB-8. As much as people are talking about Rey being OP, BB-8 is the most Mary Sue character in this film. He is able to do things that any Force guy, any Jedi can do, but a freaking droid was able to do.
People hate BB-8.
I don't know why people hate BB-8. He was so...
Because people like R2-D2.
R2-D2 is, again, an amazing character for what he was on the first 6 movies. But, again, BB-8 is the new R2-D2, and we just have to accept it. And here's the thing. He was awesome.
Oh,
he beaten guards!
There's one more awesome than BB-8.
What?
The First Order BB-8. That was more menacing.
Yeah, but he didn't do much.
Oh, we want to see them both fight.
What? You want to see them both fight? BB-8 using those 2 war things? What are those things? You know, the bipedal thing?
Legs?
Yeah, the bipedal robot machine thing. The AT, but not the AT.
AT-ATs.
Yeah, not the AT-ATs.
AT-STs.
The other one.
Yeah, AT-ST.
AT-ST, the bipedal.
Yes.
Yeah.
The chicken legs.
You want to see BB-8 and that thing fighting using AT-STs?
Oh, come on. You see, there's a hype.
I know BB-8 used it, which was amazing.
No, there's a hype between the fight between the two.
I know, but here's the thing. He's doing a car thing. You know, hot wiring a car. He was just doing that and saying, "Oh my God, BB, what else can't you do? during the part where they were in the casino thing.
Yes.
He beat up guards using clubs, and then the other guards were there, and he's shooting coins. It was amazing. I said, "Oh, BB-8, you're such an amazing character."
Poe is the sidekick, not BB-8.
Yeah, Poe is the psychic. You think BB-8 was just this droid that was again just unlocking doors and stuff? Hell no, he was doing more than that. Ah, so that again, that's pretty much how the movie is. That's how it ended. The resistance for as much as how many people were there, they left within the Millennium Falcon. Because the Millennium Falcon is big, but at the same time, if you think about it,
It felt small.
it felt small. But yeah, that's how it is. So moving right along, if you guys haven't watched the movie yet, it's recommended. You can watch it because again, it's.
Don't
you
worry,
can-
nobody lost an arm.
I was thinking of that would happening. To be honest, on one part I forgot what it is. I was thinking that would happen, but going back, the Jedi, the Force, Star Wars. If you want to watch it, go ahead watch it. If you're a die-hard Star Wars fan, watch it with caution.
Watch it first before you actually join the hate.
No. As much as people would say, if you're a die-hard Star Wars fan, more likely you'll hate it. But at the end of the day, once you watch the movie, end up watching it, being a fan who are thinking of things that would happen, just still watch it because it's continuing the franchise that you all know and love. So yeah,
It's not going to ruin your investment.
yeah, it's not because it's a setup movie. That's what it is. So yeah, if you guys like the movie, watch it. It's recommended. It's a good movie. It's not a purple, pretty much in the gray area, but gray, the paths of the force. So yeah, if you like this video, liked it. If you have anything to talk about, which I know you guys have a lot of things to talk about, put it in the comment section below. If you want to get more content out of the channel, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell to get notified about what we put out. And yeah, have a great day, have an awesome week, and too sweet to everyone.